Good day, everyone. Thank you for being here. Today, we are going to demystify a framework that bridges a gap between a brilliant idea in a laboratory and a fully deployed commercialized project in the market. We are talking about technology readiness level, or TRL. Whether you are an engineer or a doctor pushing technical boundaries, a project manager tracking milestone, a doctor chooses the right treatment, a researcher uses the correct device for his research, or an investor deciding whether to allocate capital. Understanding TRLs ensures that everyone is speaking the exact same language, recording the technical risk and maturity. Let's dive in detail. So what is exactly is a TRL? At its core, it's a measurement system that tells us how close a technology is being ready for a world application. Instead of guessing or relying on subjective phrases like we are almost there, TRL gives us a standardized 1 to 9 scale. This framework widely used in NASA back in 1970s during space race. They realized they could not afford to put unproven components into rockets. They needed a rigorous way to evaluate technical maturity. Today, it is a gold standard worldwide, used by government, major tech firms, and investors like eliminate guesswork and objectively evaluate progress. So let's talk about in detail about the TRL ladder. The level 9 levels act as a checklist for engineering and a product development. Notice how the focus shift as we climb. At TRL1, we are looking at a basic physics or scientific purpose. By TRL3, we have built something small in the lab to prove the maths works. The real heavy lifting happens between TRL level 4 and 6, where we move from a loose assembly of parts into actual prototype. Finally, TRL 7 through 9 are all about the real world. Technology has not truly achieved TRL 9 until it has operated successfully in its final intended environment under everybody's stress. To make easier to digest, we can chunk these 9 levels into 3 distinct phases. So levels 1 through 3 represent the research phase. This is typically the domain of universities and R&D labs. It is highly intellectual and relatively cheap to fund. So when it comes to levels 4 through 6 are the development phase. In this venture capital world, we often call this transition the valley of death. Why? Because moving a technology from a sterile controlled laboratory environment to an engineering scale prototype is incredibly difficult and too expensive. Once you survive that, you hit level 7 through 9, the last stage, the deployment phase. Here, the scientific questions are answered. The focus switches completely to manufacturing, consistency, commercialization, and operational reliability. So, why should management care about TRL? First, it is our best tool for risk mitigation. It prevents us from spending millions of dollars manufacturing something that has not been even proved. To wrap up things up, the TRL framework turns the messy, unpredictable process of innovation into structural roadmap. By assessing the current portfolio against these 9 levels, we can clearly see whether our bottlenecks are allocated or budget more efficiently, and set realistic expectation for our stakeholders. So thank you for your time.